Hi, I'm Marcin, CEO and founder of Malwarebytes. I'm here with Paul Roberts, editor-in-chief at the Security Ledger. Paul, there's a lot of news around companies getting breached internally. You know, a user or an employee may download some malware, but tell me more about breaches happening externally through third parties or partners.
Yeah, well, good question, and I think this is like a major new area of concern, even though, as you know, it's not really that new.
Right.
But we're certainly seeing, when we're talking about advanced threats and advanced attacks, attackers are smart enough to know that while companies may have invested substantially in defending their network perimeter, defending their critical assets, often and increasingly they have a broad network ecosystem of business partners, contractors, suppliers, supply chain partners who have often direct links or hooks into their environment or access to critical data that attackers don't need to compromise the company's network to get at. So we're seeing increasingly third-party compromises playing a role in major breaches. The big example of this obviously was Target stores, where the compromise of their payment card system came by way of a HVAC contractor, somebody who had a system for remotely monitoring the environmental controls at their headquarters, and there were connections there to ultimately their payment system. I think we saw it recently even with the breach at No More Clipboard, and MIE, which was a cloud-based electronic health records provider. By compromising that cloud provider, the attackers got access to 230 separate hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices, information on 4 million patients. So, these are issues that companies have to now consider, not just what are we doing internally to protect our data and assets and our employees, but also who are we trusting and what is their, how solid are their processes, how secure is their environment? And it's a big problem because ultimately you don't control them. They're not your company. You can't make decisions about their IT infrastructure.
Right. That's a lot of trust to put into a third party. And really the attackers only have to find the weakest link. They only really have to find the one that they can get through.
That's right. I mean, a great example, I think, that every company would consider, which is the building management system at your corporate headquarters, right? It's there. It controls your door badging and the HVAC and the environmental controls. Can you say 100% that there's no connection between the Windows 2000 server that's running that building management system and your corporate network? Probably not, but my guess is most companies couldn't say for sure. And that is a classic example of a type of concern, security concern that companies should have. I think increasingly, as we're moving to a really hybrid IT environment of both hosted cloud-based services and internally managed assets and resources and applications, those relationships and those connections really need to be carefully vetted because they can provide, again, easy access to data that is not resident within your corporation.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I'm Marcin, Kleczynski, CEO and founder of Malwarebytes. Thank you.